In today's video, we will explore the economic history of Argentina and analyze whether Milei is on the right path for the country's future. From cycles of growth to financial crises, Argentina's economic journey has been marked by ups and downs that have influenced not only the nation, but also the international landscape. Stay with us to understand the key events that have shaped Argentina's economy and discover the role Milei might play in this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments about what you think of this video. Your participation is essential for us to continue bringing relevant content to you. Topic 1. Historical overview of Argentina's economy. Argentina's economic trajectory is marked by cycles of prosperity and crises that span over a century. In the early 20th century, the country was considered one of the most promising economies in the world, thanks to its strong agricultural production and the attraction of foreign investments. However, starting in the 1930s and 1940s, the economy began to face significant challenges, including political instability and fluctuations in commodity prices. These oscillations directly impacted economic growth and investor confidence, establishing a pattern of volatility that has persisted to this day. In the following decades, Argentina adopted different economic models, ranging from more interventionist policies to attempts at market liberalization. The accelerated industrialization during the Peronist era brought advancements but also generated fiscal and inflationary imbalances. The 2001 crisis was a turning point, resulting in a deep recession, high unemployment, and a default on external debt. These events not only shook the economy, but also left deep scars on Argentine society, influencing public perception of the economic policies implemented by the government. Currently, Argentina faces complex challenges that reflect its turbulent economic history. High inflation, increasing public debt, and dependence on international loans are persistent problems that demand effective solutions. Analyzing this history is essential to understand the context in which Milei is proposing his economic policies. Without understanding the past mistakes and successes, it is difficult to assess whether the new guidelines will be able to lead the country toward a path of stability and sustainable growth. Topic 2. Milei's economic proposals. Javier Milei's economic proposals have sparked intense debates both in Argentina and on the international stage. As a proponent of radical liberalism, Milei advocates for a drastic reduction in the size of the state, eliminating ministries deemed superfluous and privatizing state-owned companies. He believes that this deregulation will stimulate entrepreneurship and attract foreign investments, boosting economic growth. Additionally, Milei supports the elimination of Argentina's central bank, proposing the adoption of the gold standard as a way to control inflation and stabilize the currency. These ideas, though bold, reflect an attempt to break away from economic models that, according to him, have historically led the country into recurring crises. Beyond austerity measures, Milei emphasizes the importance of structural reforms to enhance the country's competitiveness. He suggests simplifying the tax system to reduce the fiscal burden on businesses and individuals, which he believes will encourage production and consumption. Another of his proposals is the flexibilization of the labor market, aiming to reduce informality and increase productivity. Milei also advocates for more open trade agreements, believing that global integration can bring significant benefits to Argentina's economy. These initiatives, while promising in theory, face resistance from sectors that fear the loss of workers' rights and the intensification of social inequality. However, Milei's proposals are not without criticism. Many economists question the feasibility of implementing such radical changes in a short period, pointing to the risk of economic and social instability. The elimination of the central bank, for instance, is seen by some as an extreme measure that could limit the government's ability to respond to financial crises. Furthermore, the privatization of state-owned companies raises concerns about monopolies and the loss of control over strategic sectors of the economy. Despite the controversies, Milei continues to gain support from voters seeking an alternative to traditional policies, making his proposals a central point in the discussion about Argentina's economic future. Topic 3. Challenges of inflation and monetary control in Argentina. Inflation has been one of the main economic challenges faced by Argentina over the past decades. With rates frequently exceeding levels considered healthy for a stable economy, high inflation erodes citizens' purchasing power and creates uncertainty in the markets. Historically, factors such as excessive money printing, persistent fiscal deficits, and a lack of confidence in financial institutions have contributed to rising prices. This situation not only impacts domestic consumption, but also hinders long-term investment planning, which is essential for sustainable economic growth. To combat inflation, various Argentine governments have adopted different strategies with mixed results. Monetary control through strict interest rate policies and restricting the money supply has been a common approach, but often generates social tensions due to increased credit costs and economic slowdown. The adoption of the gold standard proposed by Milei represents a radical attempt to stabilize the currency and anchor inflation expectations. However, this measure faces criticism regarding its feasibility and potential side effects, such as limiting the flexibility of monetary policy to respond to external shocks. In addition to monetary policies, Argentina has been seeking to implement structural reforms to strengthen financial institutions and increase economic transparency. Investor confidence, both domestic and foreign, is crucial for economic stability and reducing inflation. Initiatives such as improving governance, combating corruption, and promoting a more competitive business environment are essential to create the necessary conditions for effective inflation control. However, these efforts require time and political commitment, elements that have been challenging in a scenario marked by frequent government changes and political instability. Topic 4. The public debt issue and relations with the IMF. Argentina's public debt has been a cornerstone in the country's economic discussions for decades. Historically, the country has faced multiple defaults, with the most recent one in 2020 further shaking the confidence of investors and international financial institutions. This trajectory of high indebtedness is intrinsically linked to factors such as persistent fiscal deficits, high inflation rates, and the constant need to refinance loans. The relationship with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has been particularly tumultuous, with agreements often imposing stringent austerity measures, generating internal political and social tensions. Javier Milei, upon assuming an economic leadership role, proposes bold approaches to tackle public debt. He advocates for aggressive renegotiation of loan terms, seeking to reduce financial burdens and expand the government's fiscal flexibility. Additionally, Milei suggests the possibility of abandoning some commitments with the IMF, arguing that the institution's imposed conditions limit Argentina's ability to implement independent and effective economic policies. These proposals, while potentially alleviating immediate pressure on public finances, raise concerns about long-term sustainability and the country's relationship with international creditors. Implementing Milei's strategies regarding public debt presents significant challenges. Renegotiating loan terms could result in a loss of confidence among foreign investors, negatively impacting the country's ability to attract new investments. Furthermore, distancing from the IMF could limit access to essential financial resources during crises, increasing Argentina's economic vulnerability to external shocks. On the other hand, if successful, Milei's proposals could place Argentina on a path toward greater fiscal autonomy and economic stability. Balancing these possibilities will determine the true impact of Milei's policies on the country's economic trajectory. Topic 5. Social impacts of Milei's policies in Argentina. Javier Milei's economic proposals do not only affect financial indicators, but also have profound social implications for the Argentine population. Reducing the size of the state and privatizing public companies can lead to significant changes in essential services such as healthcare, education, and transportation. With decreased public investment, there are concerns about the accessibility and quality of these services, especially for the most vulnerable segments of society. Additionally, labor market flexibilization, while potentially increasing productivity, may result in the precarization of working conditions and greater insecurity for workers, sparking intense debates about the social costs of the proposed reforms. Another crucial aspect is the possible alteration of the tax structure advocated by Milei. Simplifying taxes and reducing the fiscal burden aim to stimulate economic growth, but can also impact income redistribution and social assistance programs. Reduced revenue may limit the government's ability to invest in social inclusion policies, exacerbating existing inequalities. Moreover, the privatization of strategic sectors could lead to income concentration and increased power of large corporations, creating challenges for maintaining a more equitable and sustainable economy in the long run. Finally, Milei's proposals spark a debate about Argentina's identity and social values. The pursuit of greater economic autonomy and openness to foreign investments reflects a vision of modernization and global competitiveness. However, there is significant resistance from groups that value state intervention as a means to guarantee social rights and promote collective well-being. This clash of ideologies not only influences the political landscape, but also shapes public perception of what is necessary for the country's sustainable development. Understanding these social impacts is essential to assess whether Milei's policies can truly bring lasting benefits to Argentine society. Thank you for watching the video. We hope this deep dive into Argentina's economic history and Milei's proposals has provided you with valuable insights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us continue creating